myself. Rather do this alone, I wasn't asking for no help. They keep asking how I'm winning with the card that I was dealt. Boy, I work hard for the seat and I ain't buckling my belt. Call my brother on the phone, he said, broski, you a star. I said, brother, hold it down, soon we'll all be living large. And it's crazy how last year was on my garage. Now I'm in a good position for this life, can't sabotage. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights I just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. I got tattoos on my face, I use that as motivation. I can never get a job, so for my dream I'm dedicated. For a second, lost myself, I was too busy getting now they see me out in public and be knowing what my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just wanna be stable, tell my family we made it. I was coming from my spot, a young had to be patient. Now I'm running up, these bands can hit the island for vacation. I've been know my haters, you could say I'm constipated. 5 racks on his fit, just to stunt while I'm in Vegas. On my body, shout out to my Caleb Young. Got the cake up, now he's on the data. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights I just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo.
Out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. I'm too, on one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my third shift, I'm a boy, so, boy, and I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Ooh, right now, I got you. Right now. Nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew up right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now whistles and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Hey, let's go. Line, 300.
on the ground. This is Leonard Fournette. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Hey, let's go!
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw out to his left. Looking long for Westbrook. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Back to throw here. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Looking to throw. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
They'll drop the throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Even though they might not find the #1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
By 90. By 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. Partner, we read a great article this week arguing for him to be Defensive Player of the Year. Normally, sacks are the big thing that people point to, but what he's done in the secondary has been something special.
It has been because it's been an all-around game for him, taking the ball away, rushing the quarterback, and sacking him himself, doing a number of different things that change the way the game is played.
Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or two shy of midfield. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ballard. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd and short.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Dancing to his left. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Dumps it off to Fournette. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Nice footwork at the 25. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. As his guys are in for 6, and the Jaguars add on to their lead. Point after, up and good, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. He'll drop to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. A good pickup there, a 22.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. He's got Evans. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll look to throw. Evans has it left side. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now they try the right side here. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9.
Green 39.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now back to throw. Flushed out right. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Shark's got it, left side. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Fournette, a first down carry. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. Open space inside the 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Back to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 24 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They're going to look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. In for the score. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
He'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, Ray, seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Stepping up, he'll try and run. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
All right, let's go. Hey, let's go black you now.
They go play action here on first down. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And he's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we now go downstate to Orlando. Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
They'll set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say, on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just got to shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll set up a throw into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39, and he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Eagle.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Alpha. White 20. White 20. Alpha. White 20.
Looking to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. They'll drop the throw. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll go on the ground. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And on the ground they go with a running back. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
They'll try and throw for it here. Throw left side complete. It's Evans. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. A Raider 1st down, 17 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. That he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Two running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Everyone's got 4. White 90. White 20. Double. White 90's hot. White 20.
Back to throw here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The Jaguars on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Alpha. Late. Right to that.
He'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. The extra point up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Jennings. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
Miles Jack there to make the tackle. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
No. Check. Patriot. Hurry up. Here we go. Green, 39.
A dump off for Davis. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 7 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Detroit! Gone!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Steps away to his left. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Here's Jennings. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Now to try the field goal, here's Daniel Carlson. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada.